Welcome back to Unfiltered Bull Sessions. We are on episode 14, part 2 with Mr. Couture.
Hi, everyone.
Our first guest ever. So now, part 1 was basically about surgery questions. I feel like a lot of people are probably curious about what he's done. Well, at least the ones that follow us and stuff. They don't know who Juan is.
Love us.
Yes. So for part 2, we're just going to kind of ask, him some questions about himself. Just to get to know him a little more. There's some it's just random questions.
They're kind of good though.
They're really good questions. You'll have to really dig deep.
Yeah.
Deep into your soul.
Like in the faja.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deep in your faja through the fibrosis.
Everything.
All that. Yeah. We just gotta dig deep. You could also just be like, can we skip this question? Maybe it's something you don't want to answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
talking deep then.
Yeah. Deep.
Okay.
But it's not it's if you want to share it. You don't have to share
no comment.
Me? How about the last one? She was just we asked each other, what is your most embarrassing sex story? And I was I'm not gonna say mine, it's so embarrassing, I would never talk about it. And then I'm well, it actually
the way it started.
I was well, and then I end up saying what the fuck I did, and I was fuck, damn, I just said it.
Yeah.
She's like,
I was no, say it.
Yeah, she's
no.
why? It's so funny, just say it.
Yeah.
And I'm no, I'm not gonna say it. I'm so embarrassed. I was well, it involves this,
and then
this, and then this, and I was then I ended up fucking saying it.
And then you're damn, that is kind of embarrassing.
Yeah,
well, I already knew it. That's why I wanted her to say it.
I was no, everyone's gonna fucking send me memes you fucking shitty bitch.
I'm so done.
Everyone's come back for me if they want to make fun of me.
Oh, yes.
Myself, bitch. No, I'm just
well, at least it wasn't diarrhea, girl.
Yeah, exactly. It could be worse.
It could have been worse. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So you could have a moment like that, or just not answer at all.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh. So this is a good one. Well, they're all good. What is the one thing you would change about yourself? I guess that you haven't changed.
That I already haven't changed.
Yeah, that you have. I guess this wouldn't even have to be physical. It could be anything about yourself.
Okay. I guess it goes back to how I'm so shy. I wish I wasn't. I wish I wish I was. I wish I didn't care. For example, you mean already digging deep? Okay, so for example, this outfit, okay? Just this outfit. Yes. So I was looking forward to it. It's the outfit that I've been talking about, the pants that I like. It's those pants.
This is why we prolonged the freaking thing, is because he was looking for an outfit. It wasn't anything else. I know we were just he's dealing with some shit. No.
Stop, not the diarrhea. No outfit. It was the diarrhea.
Everyone's oh my god, what's wrong?
What happened? Yeah. No, okay, it's those, you just have that purchase where you you want to buy it, but then you don't, and then you're am I ever going to wear it, but I really want to. Okay, so for example, this outfit. After tonight's filming, I promised my mom to take her to Bakersfield to run some errands, and I was well, I got to pack clothes. I'm telling my husband this. I'm I got to pack clothes because there's no way in hell I'm walking out in Bakersfield with this outfit. There's no way. And he's why? And I'm because, babe, do you know what I'm wearing? I'm gonna be wearing Mary pants, the pants that are white, and my waist is gonna look so snatched. And he's well, isn't that what you paid for?
Literally, I hate when people say that, but it's just no, you don't understand.
You don't understand.
It's embarrassing sometimes if you're doing too much.
Yes.
And it's the awkward I don't know, because people in public, I think they make it very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could talk about the Target incident. We went to Target one time, and he's just oh, Mary, come with me to Target. I'm really shy. Him being shy. I'm really shy. I need someone to go to Target with me. And I'm okay. And I used to say the same thing. This was before I even had surgery. It's a natural cream back then. And
it's all about natural.
Natural. I was why don't
cutting her macros?
Why don't you just work out, stupid? Why would you get
eating salmon at work?
Eating salmon. And he was just I'm okay, I guess I'll go, because isn't that why you got your body done? Because you want your ass fat? And so I go, and I'm looking, and I'm just bitch, why the fuck are people staring? Are they staring at me because they're look at that natural queen, or they're or they're looking at him? He's wearing the tightest freaking jeans.
Levi's.
Yeah, tightest jeans, and him walking straight, that's how he's strutting. And then you see this man with 5 of his kids, his wife, I'm like, I think he forgot he had kids and
The
wife
whole family
with him.
back him.
He's
Stop.
pushing the stroller,
The cart.
the cart, and he's just like, he stops. Now, mind you, where he stops, his kids are like bumping into him because he just stopped, and he's just like,
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
like looking down at his butt, not even looking at his face, not looking at him. He's just like, and his wife is like,
Looking at him, looking at me.
yeah. So she's like confused, like what? I'm like, oh, he's not even hiding it at this point. And I was just like, that's awkward because now you just started a fight.
Literally.
And she's looking at, she's waiting.
And I'm minding my own business.
Yeah,
Looking at
and
the Colgate
the wife
toothpaste.
is looking at him like, how dare you walk in front of my husband?
Mm-hmm.
She
You know-
said that?
No.
No,
But
that's just like
oh
the
my God.
demeanor.
The-
That's
yeah,
like
yeah.
what
The
she
look.
gave off.
You could tell like she not even mad at her husband, but kind of mad that Juan existed.
Yeah.
And you know how girls are. They blame the
other.
other,
One, but
not
yeah.
their man that's in the relationship with them. Yeah. I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, that's weird. So that's when I say like that awkward like attention or like the bad attention
Yeah.
where it's like people make it too obvious. or
Everybody's
just-
like, why did you do it then? For me, like,
For me,
what do you mean
yeah.
why? Like,
so I can walk around
wanted
naked
to.
in my house and feel
I
good.
don't.
you know?
I'm not doing it so that I can break necks. I'm not
Yeah.
doing it so I can get
For
the
other
compliments
people,
or
yes.
like the criticism. I do it for me, for my husband. I do it for
Mm-hmm.
me and my husband. That's why I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So like I was saying to my husband's like, but babe, they're gonna talk about you whether you're wearing the green pants or whether you're wearing the jean
Anything,
shorts.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's like, people are gonna hate, and that's just the way the world
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
So he's like, if I find out you change, I will be like mad. Like and you
He's
know
just
that
like,
he's
no,
my little
fucking work.
cheerleader.
Yeah.
Like, but I wish I wasn't. Like, I wish I didn't care. I wish I was like.
You'll go safe and wear all black. Or like wear something like sweats ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
hmm
I could
Like
see that.
I just wish like I was more confident with like me. And like I'm sure I give off that vibe, but no. So that's something that I would like to change about
The
me.
most self conscious.
And I feel like I have worked on it, but then it's like, okay, I'm here, and then I'm like, COVID brought me back down. It was COVID. I was here, and then COVID. I swear,
Yeah.
before COVID, I was really confident. We're gonna blame it on COVID.
Yeah, COVID
Yeah.
did it.
I'm
COVID
so
made
done.
you
Yeah.
not confident. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not blaming it on
That shit's
COVID.
funny.
Oh.
Yeah, that is so funny. Ooh, do you have an embarrassing moment?
And an embarrassing moment. Gosh, I have a lot.
Name, I would say like maybe tell the one that's like the most, like that really
Tops
just
all of
always
them.
sticks to you.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Like the first one that comes to your like to your mind.
I don't know. I'm sure like I've had so many, but
I don't know. I don't feel like you have. Had you like embarrassing moments?
no, like
Or maybe a time where you felt like really embarrassed?
maybe I haven't, but I've experienced some like I've witnessed a lot of embarrassing
Like,
moments and
someone
like
had embarrassment?
yes, and so I'm like almost as embarrassed as that person, or I'm even more embarrassed. And like I could share that. Like
yeah,
I was
I
that.
mean, that works too.
That was the funniest and most embarrassing thing.
Oh
like
my gosh.
I had to like exit the person out. So like it was just as embarrassing for me as it was for the person that did this. Okay. So my coworker at the time, I'm working at a salon in Delano, friend of mine, forgive me if you're watching this, but this was really funny and embarrassing. But then I was like stuck. I was stuck. So like she's pregnant, like she's ready to give birth like any minute, and like her client is so funny, sweetest client ever, but she's like also very like one of those hard clients where like, but I really want like that, you know, like I just really want it like right there, and you're like, that's so ugly, I cannot give that to her.
Yeah.
But she finally just gave it to her. She gave it to her. She gave it to her. So like her client's under the dryer, and she has her headphones on, and she's just like. She's like singing, and she's like, her head's like moving, the foils are like falling, and my coworker's looking at me, and she's like she's just like
Yeah.
done had it, right? So I'm like trying not to look at my coworker because like I will start laughing, like I will like start laughing, and like the client will know,
Yeah.
the client will
Yeah.
know, and so I'm just working on my client, and then I just see her typing this like big paragraph. My coworker is typing like this big paragraph, and then like she walks to the back, And as she's walking through the back, to the back, it's like the door. And then like, so to get to the door, there's the hair dryers.
Yeah.
So like where her client was
her.
sitting.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to pass her client. And as she's passing her client, mind you, she's texting this big paragraph, okay? Like, I just see her like, I'm like, she's mad at someone.
She's cussing somebody
She's telling somebody off. Like, something's hot. And she's passing the door, or through the door, passing her client. And then as she's passing her client's phone rings.
She texts her client.
She texts her client.
She texts the wrong person.
And then,
She sends the text.
and then I'm like, I see her, she's like by the doorway and she's facing me and she's like, and again, she's like really pregnant and she's like, and I'm like, and I'm just like, what's going on? I see her,
rubbing her belly?
her client's like,
Reading it. Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like,
Oh, was there a lot of people on this
And
lawn?
this
No.
was a long time
No.
ago, but so they didn't have the delete text.
there was no delete after
Literally.
send, unsend, there was no no. So then, the message said something along the words of like, oh my god, not her asking for the chunky highlights with her red hair, look at her tossing her head like she knows how to sing. And she was like, just
Talking
like,
shit.
mad shit, and she's just like, send, right? And she's waiting for me to like read, I don't, so she's passing by, and then she remembers, I didn't look for Juan's name. I just texted the last person I text.
Uh-huh.
And then she passes by, and it's like, ding. So then she's in the back of the salon, and she's like, and I'm like, foiling my client, giving her the 3 chunks in the front, because she's also wanting the 3 chunks in the front. And then I'm in the back, I walk to the back, and I'm like, what? And she's like, bitch. And we're just like, we're
She's like, I'm about to have my baby go through stress.
She's like, I need you to like rinse her. I need you to just tell her like I had to leave, and I need you to give me a ride. And I'm like, we have clients. Like, give you a ride where? I had parked my car in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Her car was parked in the front.
Mm-hmm.
So she needed me to get in the car with her, drop her off in the front, in her car, so that she didn't have to pass through the salon
Yeah.
and see her client.
Yeah.
And again, she's like pregnant. So like she had to walk down the whole main street and like get back to the front of the salon to pick
get
up
in
her
her
car.
car.
So then, yeah, of course, friend, get in the car. So then we go around and I'm like, bitch, your client's never gonna come back again. Like, what do I tell her? So then, time to rinse your client out, and I'm like, love, I'm gonna rinse you out. Karina had to leave. She wasn't feeling well. She's like, oh, it's okay. I know. She texted me. Why did she text you?
Yeah.
She's like, it's okay. I know. Like, I know I'm annoying, and like, I know this. And I'm like, no, but she's just like, her mind's not here. You know,
Yeah, she's
just like
pregnant,
pregnant,
yeah.
and like it's you
Yeah.
have to understand. And she's like, no, I get it. But will you let her know that I just won't be coming back? And I'm like, no, for sure. Like, I'll let her know. But I was just so embarrassed because like I had to
deal with
it. Yeah, like after.
Yes.
But yeah, that was so embarrassing.
That would have
my
definitely
God.
been something I'd be like.
I literally would have been like, oh.
No, but there we are, like, and I'm like, yeah, I was so
At first
confused.
I was like, where's this story going?
You never heard the story?
No.
I
I don't
thought-
think you told me this story. I know the story of when you took an edible.
Oh, I could have said that one.
You
Oh.
told me
I-
that one.
mhm.
Yeah, because there was
Yeah.
a time you took an edible. That
Without
one-
knowing. I have never done drugs. Never. Not I.
Mhm.
And then my coworkers were all in the break room, and I had just moved into my house, and I'm over here proud of myself because I made shrimp for the first time with rice. And so I'm eating my food, and I'm so excited, and everybody's around the table, and they're like, Juan, do you want candy? And I'm like, yeah, like, I'll take one. So I'm still eating, and they're like, well, reach for the candy. And I'm like, wait, like, I'm eating, like, my shrimp.
Yeah.
Like, I'm eating my shrimp right now.
The shrimp I made.
I
in the
made
kitchen.
this shrimp. You guys, like, you don't understand. I'm eating the shrimp. So they're like, come on, just, like, take a piece. And I'm like, okay. So I reach for the bag. It's like this little, like, fruit roll-up looking candy.
Yeah.
And it looks super
They're like,
good.
it's homemade.
Shrimp.
Yeah. It looked so good. So I reached for it, and they're like, eat it. And I'm like, bitch, I will eat it.
Yeah.
Like,
You're like, give me.
I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah.
So then I'm like eating it. this is a little minty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me see what this kind of medicinal. Is this weed? And they're like, it's just a little bit. It's not gonna do anything to you. And I'm like,
oh my god.
okay. So like my next client was the fucking dean's assistant from Bakersfield. And like
no
she's
big
like
deal. Not a,
so professional,
no,
like
yeah.
the most loveliest, like sweetest person ever. And I'm like freaking out because I ate the fucking candy.
Yeah.
And so then she shows up and she shows up with coffee for me and coffee for her. And when she walks in, I'm like, ha ha ha. And she's like, oh, you're full of energy.
Yeah.
You may not need this coffee. And I'm like, ah. And so then I'm like reaching for like the foils and like the foils are up here and I'm just like,
Stop.
and then I'm like, you're so funny. And then I'm like,
She's like, I didn't say anything.
no. So then like she's sitting in the chair and I'm just like, oh. And she's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, and she's like, what's wrong? It's because. And she's like, Juan. And she's like, what is, someone bring him water.
Yeah.
So then my coworker's like,
Something's happening.
bringing me water. And she's like, what is wrong with you guys? And I'm just like, I was like, and then she's like, she thought that like, is it because of your boyfriend? Like, we had just broken up. So she's like, no, this is serious. Like, what is going on? And I'm like,
She thinks you're crying, but
no.
you're like, ah.
Yeah. But so then I'm like, ah. And then I'm like, ah. And then I'm like reaching for foils. Like,
on the floor.
The foils are up here. She's like, Juan, come with me. She walks me to the back. She's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, well, they like gave me candy.
I got drugs.
They
I
drugged me,
promise
my
you, like,
coworkers
I
drugged
didn't
me.
know it was drugs. And then
Until
she's
after
like,
I ate it.
yes. And she's like, oh, you guys, why would you guys let him take it? And so, like, now
Everyone's
my
in
coworkers
trouble.
are like, so then she's like, you guys are all drugged? And then we're like, no, it was the worst.
That was
it was the worst.
Long story short, they all went home.
Yeah, we all went home.
Shut up.
But I had to get someone to pick me up because
Oh
I
my
was
God.
not
Yeah.
gonna do that.
Yeah.
And so then, like, we're talking. There's a video. There's a video.
Oh my god. We need to
I'm
find that
talking
video.
and I'm like laughing and then I'm like crying and then I'm like
Stop.
trying to breathe because I'm like, okay, so I'm like laughing and then I'm trying to stop myself laughing, so then I start crying, but then I wanted to stop crying, so I'm like,
Have you ever taken an edible?
I have.
It's so scary.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I don't like how I
It's
feel.
a
It makes
whole
you
different-
delusional.
No, like you like go in and out of your brain too. Like the one time that I've had it, like I just remember bits
You're
and pieces
paranoid
of that night.
You're
yeah.
paranoid the whole time. I
And
did
it
that,
literally
and then I
feels
had
like
a
you're
teacher
gonna die.
conference.
I thought I
Yeah.
was gonna die.
Yeah,
You
like,
get weird thoughts.
Mhm.
It's not healthy. I'm like, how do people do this?
I literally thought I was gonna die.
yeah,
Small
I
dosages.
I will never do.
No, I literally it was that strip.
oh
I
yeah,
took like
Oh,
this
no.
much of it.
Mine
I took
was.
the whole roll.
I did a.
Yeah,
almond,
that's why you were crying.
yeah, I was crying,
No,
laughing,
yeah.
breathing.
For me, I did the chocolate almond ones.
Oh,
And so
Okay.
I didn't read serving size. So there was one time, Lynette was here. I gave her like the actual joints. I can't do joints because they get me too high. Like I need
Yeah.
like light.
Yeah.
Give me
Very
some
light.
level.
Just
Yeah.
a pen is good. You know, like the little pens.
Uh-huh.
But no, I got these. I just went. I remember I went to a dispensary and I just. Oh, I want that. I want that. I want that. I want that, and just tried it all.
Choose the cute one.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, that looks cute. I'll
The
try
lollipop.
that. So I was
Yeah.
like, ooh, let me try the edibles, like the chocolate covered
Uh-huh.
almonds. Mm. So I'm talking to Lynette and I'm like, oh, these are good. You should try some. And I'm just popping them. Like they were not edibles. Okay. I still
Popcorn
had,
at the movies.
yeah, I still had clients. I probably had like 4 or 5. So when I read that, serving size, 2 at a time.
2 per day.
Yeah, 2 per day. That's what it is. 2 per day. I had about 5 or 6.
She had a week's worth.
Yeah. So I was just like,
God.
I was on a break. I didn't have anybody. I had one more client, but I had to cancel the rest. Not only that, I had a teacher conference on the phone.
Stop.
So the whole time you're like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and I'm like, in my mind, I was like, I'm here, like, I'm normal. Oh, I'm like in my, because you know how you're in, it's in your
Yeah.
mind, right?
I'm reaching for the
You're like-
foils, girl.
You're like, am I repeating myself or
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Or does she think...
Did we already have this conversation?
Or does she think the whole time, and I sat there and Ralph's looking at me, he didn't know I did that. So he's watching me have a teacher conference, and like, I'm telling myself I need to hand the phone to him, I need to hand the phone to him, but I never handed the phone to him. So I'm like, am I asking her the same fucking question, or is she fucking repeating herself? So the whole time...
Who's wrong here?
I was like, I never looked back to see how many minutes I was
on the phone.
I don't know. Now that I think about it, I'm like, man, how long was I on the phone? Because she was just talking to me about like, oh, he's doing great, whatever. And I'm like, yeah. Oh yeah, so he's doing great. And then it was just like over and over the same conversation. But in my mind, I'm like, am I really having this conversation, or is it in my head? So that's what edibles do to you, right?
It's crazy, huh?
Yeah. And then there was another time. It was way back when I did smoke something with my friend, but I think it was laced with something, maybe something they had in the whatever. And so I remember what I was wearing that night. I had a pencil skirt and I had like a black blouse. Yeah, at a club, bitch. I was like 21. Why are you dressed like?
With the machon in the front?
I was like, why are you dressed like an executive fucking something at the fucking club, bitch? Like
the devil wears Prada at a club.
And I remember having my hair back like this, and I had like one side swooped, and I had like vintage curl vibes, and then I had like pearls, right? So I was like,
the pearls.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, but I had boots, like thigh-high boots. So I was like,
your boots met the skirt.
Yeah, like it was like, or maybe it wasn't a pencil skirt. It was like a, like a mini one. Yeah. So the whole night I remember, and I was talking like this, right? And I was like, and we were there. I was just like, you guys, am I talking with my tongue, or am I really like?
I think you told me.
Yes, I was just like, am I really talking with my tongue, or am I just thinking I'm talking with my tongue?
That shit was like for sure.
That's like.
And then she was like.
Another.
And then when I asked them that, they're like, yeah, bitch, why are you talking like that? I was like, I don't know. In my mind, I think it's just in my head I'm talking like that, but I don't know if I'm really talking like that.
Like I'm asking you.
Yeah, I'm asking you if I'm talking like
that. If it's really happening.
Yeah. So the whole time in the club, bitch, I'm like, do I look like a prostitute? I think the boots made me feel pretty woman-ish. And I was like, no, be honest with me. Do I look like a prostitute? Like, do I look like... They're like, it's okay. You have pearls on. You look fine.
You're fancy. You have pearls on.
I was just like, oh, okay. So the whole time, it was just like that. I'm like, I'm not smoking with you guys anymore.
Never.
Whatever was in there, I do not like. I was like talking, literally.
She turned into an Enrique Iglesias.
Yeah, something. I was like.
She was Española.
Yes. I was like, no, I never again. So same with that. Like the edibles, they're probably still in there somewhere, like expired and shit. I was like, I'll give
that is so funny.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, never again will I do edibles. I think I don't know how people function with edibles.
Oh no.
I think they've like probably why.
Very well, it's just like how when people smoke weed every day or hit the pen every day, you never know if they're high.
That's true.
Or they're normal. But to get to that level, imagine.
I don't want to get used to that. I don't want to get used to being I think I don't like being paranoid.
No, I get very paranoid.
Yeah, I think that's...
I don't like the feeling of a hangover, so I could just imagine like feeling different.
And I get a huge headache. Like my head throbs like
after.
I
had to sleep. I was like, I have to sleep this off. Like,
and even going to sleep is hard because the room is spinning like.
Oh yeah.
You're counting.
I felt
You're
like I didn't have
numbers
legs.
And spiders.
Yeah.
I did not have legs. I was just like.
Yeah.
I ate pizza in bed that night. When I came home. Also, when they dropped me off, I got pizza delivered and I ate in bed.
Like, so you got more drunk.
So I was drunk now because of pizza sauce.
So you're crossfaded.
Yeah, I was crossfaded.
Like really crossfaded. That shit is funny. So funny. Ooh, what is the rudest thing that anyone has ever said to you? The rudest thing anyone's ever said to you.
Oh my god. These are tough questions.
Besides, maybe the only thing I think was the guy telling you to walk straight. That was kind of rude.
Yeah, rude, but...
I'm trying to think if you ever told me anything about what someone told you. Like out at the club or like...
No,
a client.
Yeah,
a client? No. What about you, Daisy? Do you have anything anyone said rude to you?
No.
Like
I mean, I'm pretty sure. Maybe when I was working at Vallarta.
Like what?
I don't know.
Like, a esa muchacha sangrona. No me quiere pretender.
Maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever that meant.
Or like when people try to return stuff. Like there was this lady, or there was, I think it was a guy. He bought like a shit ton of meat, like for like quinceañera kind. Yeah. And then he comes back later. Oh no, his wife comes back later. And she's like, oh, I want to return this. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, what's wrong with it? And she's like, oh, like, I got home and, like, he said he doesn't eat meat. And I was like,
why would
your husband told you that he really doesn't eat meat? Like, you didn't know that after you ordered, like, all this
Your
meat?
husband?
But
yeah,
your husband picked it up.
Is it new that he doesn't eat meat?
Literally.
Like,
so I was like, okay, that's not a valid excuse. Like, there's nothing wrong with this. Like, it's completely packaged. Like, we can't return this, you know? And she was like, no, but he told me that, literally, like, and then she started telling me off just because I didn't do that. So then I just had to call my, because I was managing at the time, so I had to call my supervisor, and then it was the same thing. They didn't return it. Yeah. But I was like, so you didn't know your husband didn't eat meat?
Yeah, and was he the one that went to purchase it, and then she went to return it?
And then she's like, well, I heard that your guys' meat is always on the floor, and it's not, okay, so why are you
shopping
here?
Why did you buy
literally. I was like, oh my god, lady, like, I think that was like the only thing, but
a lot of times people just try to get their money back. So
yeah.
I guess the weirdest thing we only like deal with is like clients wanting their money back, and they try to like make it about your work and everything else, and like I guess that's the only thing I could think of. I don't think anyone's ever.
For me, it would be more of like disrespecting me for not being available for them. It's like they're on the phone and they're just like, well, what do you mean you can't see me? Like, I need it done before this day. Like, how are you?
They've said that to you before?
Yeah, like, what do you mean you can't see me by Friday? Like, are you really that booked? And I'm like, if you badly want, if you seriously want my service, what makes you think other people don't?
Yeah,
like,
literally.
If you can't go anywhere else and you really want me, what makes you think that someone else isn't already in that?
Yeah. I've never had this happen to me, but I know it's happened to other people where people have gotten told that they're too expensive. Like when I've seen that, I'm like,
okay, then find somebody cheaper.
Yeah,
no,
like, I would never say that to someone.
Someone has said to me like, oh wow, like for example, like with my new like price increase, one of them's like, she sat in my chair and she's like, I almost didn't come because like, you know, you raised your prices, and I'm like, no, I totally understand. It's not for everybody, and it's not because I'm trying to be more expensive at all, not at all. But when I'm coming out of the Cosmoprof store and I see my receipt bigger, and I'm buying just the same thing that I bought 2 weeks ago, but now I'm paying more, I gotta make the profit somehow. So then she's like, wow, you know, it's just because like I come every 12 weeks and you're charging me $85 for a root touch-up. Every 12 weeks. You're not looking at a 6-week touch-up. We're looking at like 12 weeks.
Yeah.
That's a full head color.
Literally.
Like, we're not looking at a touch-up here.
Literally.
$85.
You got like freaking 3-4 inches of regrowth.
I said, no, that's fine. I totally get it. Try someone else, and I'm sure, you know, you can find a good deal somewhere else. I don't know where you're going to find a root touch-up anywhere else for less than $85. Like,
literally.
And you're considered a full color. After 6 weeks, you're considered a full color.
Literally. And that's you letting her, like, off the hook. And now imagine someone else who doesn't want her off the hook like that. They're like, oh, no, like, you have to pay full price.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's going to do that. Like, everything's more expensive now, so that's just what it
and
is.
so then her question was, since you upped your prices, have you lost any clients? And I told her, no, as a matter of fact, I haven't. Like, everybody's been very understanding, and I appreciate that. Well,
and you haven't given yourself a raise for, like,
years.
How long?
Years.
You know, it's like we are.
But to be honest,
in charge of that.
She left. She paid. She rebooked, and then she didn't confirm her follow-up appointment. And I can honestly say she's the only client that I've lost since
That's good.
Yeah,
since your price
she didn't return. She paid her $85. She respected my service.
Yeah.
And then she rebooked, but then didn't confirm her appointment. Her appointment was unfortunately canceled from the system. And then
she just
never came back. And that I can honestly say she's the only client that I've lost since my price increase.
That's good.
Yeah. One, you probably replaced her with somebody new.
Yeah, in a minute.
What is the weirdest thing you find attractive?
The weirdest thing? Oh my god, you're gonna laugh. Nose.
Nose?
That's a good one though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think men with like weird
long.
nose. Like,
he likes long,
like the weird.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to call it weird because nobody has a weird part of their body, but you know, like the.
Like a more
the more like no, I don't know, like a nose. Just like, you know how people are insecure about their noses? I feel like the part that they're insecure about, that's the part that I'm attracted to.
Yeah.
My little hump.
Yes, the hump. Yeah.
I like really like that on a guy.
And
like
hands.
And hands.
Like, and he don't like big hands. He likes like a specific like hand.
Wow.
Yeah. I know. When I was like, I was like, oh, you'll love his hands. I'm like, I'll send him to you. Our financial advisor. I'm like, oh, I was like, you'll love him. He's so nice, but you'll love his hands. Like,
yeah.
I stare at his hands.
Or like when I'm at a drive-thru and like they're handing me change and like their hands. Like,
You're like, thanks.
Gracias.
He's like,
now my husband in the back over here. Like, he's gonna have a great day. Yeah. You can always say like, have a great day. And my husband's like, he will. He's with me. He will have a great day. And I'm like, I like your hands.
Thank you.
So good, huh?
Yeah, thank you so much. But yes, I find noses attractive.
What do you find attractive?
Teeth. Smile.
Teeth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my insecurity.
What?
Teeth.
Your teeth? Oh yeah. It's okay.
My
We'll go.
my teeth, my smile, anything that has to do with my mouth, like my breath, my teeth, my smile, that's my biggest insecurity.
Okay. What about yours?
We could fix that.
Yeah.
I like hands. I'm more of like hands.
I like
hands too.
Handsy
but
girl.
I like big hands.
Yeah. I also like when like the veins pop out.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love veins.
When I work out,
Anywhere.
I look
like
forward
veins
to
anywhere.
the veiny element.
I like him with character. Yeah. A
Texture.
little shape, texture.
A little
Yeah.
texture.
Patterns. A little texture.
Patterns,
Patterns. You know. That's like what I like. I'm like such a detailed person. I'm just like, I stare at everything. So, that's the weird stuff I found attractive. Ooh, what is your worst breakup story? Do you want to talk about this?
My worst breakup story.
Did we talk to your husband about this? I'm like, text Albert right now and ask him if you could talk about your worst breakup story. If you want to share it.
I'll share it.
Otherwise, we can skip it.
It's okay. I'll share it. My husband will forgive me. It's not about him, so it's
true.
okay.
Yeah.
It's not
true.
him.
Yeah.
So, my past relationship, I was in a relationship, and one day I was at work, and while I was working, I got a message on Facebook, and I'm gonna make this story really short because it's really like the past.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
I'm working and I get a message on Facebook and it's this gentleman and he's like, hi, is this your fiance? And I'm like, yes, how did you get this picture? Mm-hmm. Mind you, the picture is of my ex naked on the bed in our bedroom. And he's like, oh, well, he sent it to me and I just want to let you know that we are going to be meeting each other at 5 p.m. tonight. Oh, will you? Where at? And then he's like, at your home. And I'm like, oh my God.
Okay.
So then I'm like with my client's like, Juan, you need to go home, like take care of this. And I'm like, no, like his intentions are already out there, like him already reaching out to this person, like he's
enough.
already done enough for me to be like, we're done, right? So then I'm like, no, I'm not going home, like I'm fine, like it is what it is. I'm trying to be collective, I'm trying to be like calm and like collective and like just to know what to say when I do go home. And like my boss comes into the back and she's like, what's going on? And then everybody's like, show her your phone. So then I show her my phone and she's like, oh no, babe, you need to go right now. Do you need me to take you? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. Like I want to finish my client and then I'll go. So then I'm like blow drying my client's hair, but I'm like, not blow drying.
And it was you said it was 3 o'clock.
It's 3 o'clock, so like I have 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah. So those were like the two like hardest hours.
Because you're just like thinking like, what's gonna happen?
Like my stomach was hurting. Like I was just like. So then finally it's 5:05, 5:10, and I decided to go home. And so I lived in a townhouse, so like I opened the door and I walked straight upstairs, and I'm like really calm and quiet. I opened the door and like, sure enough,
they're
there. And I closed the door. Walked downstairs, they heard me. So, the gentleman walks downstairs, he's getting himself half dressed and, just walks out. Did his thing, told me, goodbye, whatever. So then I calmly walk to the living room, I'm sitting down, and then, of course, my ex is like, I'm so sorry, like, it's not what it looks like, it's not what you think.
It's not what you think.
It's not at all what it looks like or what you think.
You're blind.
Yeah.
It's not at all
whatever you saw, that's
not
the
what
edibles from when you took it the
from-
last time.
Yeah,
It's
from
not
before.
what it looks like. Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, it's okay. Like, it's fine. It is what it is. It's fine. I just need you to leave. And he's like, no, but look, it's que se me metió el demonio. And I'm just like, no, like, it's okay. Like, you can go. He said the devil got inside him. And I'm just like, you can go. And he's like, no, I just want to kill myself. I'm just going to grab a knife and I'm going to stab myself. And I said, no. Do not do that. pick a knife and I'll do it for you. We cannot be having you go to hell for committing suicide. Just pick a knife. Pick any knife.
I'll give you 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'll do it for you.
I'll walk out
then,
for a minute.
Yeah.
Then he's like, how could you say that? How could you say that to me? I love you so much. And I'm like, that's it. You need to go. Like, you need to
Like
go.
not him playing victim.
Yeah.
Literally.
Like now I'm the murderer.
Yeah.
While he was, cheating
the
on me.
cheater, yeah.
So that's my story. He left.
And that's how we went. Yes.
Yeah.
And that is now history.
Yeah. That leads to the next one. What's the worst text you've ever received? Would you say that one? Or something else?
Yeah.
Yeah, about that man or the guy texting you. I guess that would be the worst.
The whole messaging, like, is this your husband or fiance? Yeah, that was the worst message. Knowing that he intentionally, he's hooking up with someone who he knows is in a relationship, and like, his intention was to hurt me. I feel like he was intending.
He wanted you
because he wasn't like looking out for me.
Yeah.
If he was like a man and wanted to be like, oh, I'm looking out for you as a guy.
Yeah.
And, we're gay, like we need to, take care of each other.
He didn't come
He
to
would
you
have
as
been
a
like,
woman. You know how
he didn't come. Yeah,
I just
he
want
didn't
to come to you as a woman.
Yeah.
And
No.
then like say what they gotta say.
No,
Yeah.
he didn't say like, look, like your guy's on an app, like I'm just letting you know, like he's reaching out to me, and like you should know, but I declined.
I'm not gonna see him.
Like
Yeah.
I declined, but no, he was like, I've been craving it. I've been looking forward to this with him, and like I want you to know that I will
It's
be
happening.
there at 5 p.m. Make it or break it. Why make it? I break it.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally. You're like, yep, that would be the worst text. Okay, what is your love language? What do you think your love language is? So there's act of service, physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, and receiving gifts.
There you go.
Damn, I'm bilingual. I'm just fluent because I like them all. Like, like I need quality time. Like, and I'm talking about like I don't mean like we're sitting in the room and you're on your phone and I'm on my phone.
Yeah,
like,
no,
that's
that's
not quality time. Like, I need you to like we're talking and we are talking,
present,
or like we're on the road together and you and I are having a conversation, or. Like, I like to be on the phone with Mary, like, if I'm texting Mary, and I'm like, oh my god, babe, like, Mary's so funny, like, Mary said this. And, like, I'm letting him know what I'm doing
like
on my
you're
phone.
including,
Like,
in
like
the
we're,
conversation.
Albert and I are texting Mary.
Yeah.
Like, that's my way of, like, when he's on his phone just playing a game, like, hey, I'm also here. Like, I'm driving and I'm falling asleep while you're playing a game.
I hate that.
And he's all laughing at memes and shit, and you're like, wow, I wouldn't know.
I know.
Yeah, like,
What are we
who's
laughing
making us
at?
laugh?
Yeah.
Like,
What
what
are we
was so
laughing
funny?
at?
That's the worst co-pilot you could have, because Eddie's like that too.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
I would say I'm fluent.
Yeah. You like all of the above.
All of the languages.
What, Daisy, what would you say your love language is?
I think when I actually did it, it was acts of service. I think that was the first one. And I don't know what the second one was, honestly.
When you're saying like acts of service, like what is that?
Like, take out the trash, like, clean after yourself, like, stuff like that. I don't remember what I think it was maybe words of affirmation, I think. Yeah, I think his first one was for sure physical touch, but I feel like every man is going to have physical touch for sure.
Yeah. I feel like I'm a man because that's probably my top. I think now as I am in this place in my life, I think that would be my top. I think when I was younger, it used to be words of affirmation. But now I'm like, if they're just telling me shit and they don't like act on what they're telling me to, that would irritate the fuck out of me. Like, I think that would just like give me the ick. I'm like, don't fucking talk about that shit.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna do nothing.
Be about it.
Yeah, be about
But then
it.
like with you saying like after service, like if they fail to service, like does that become a pet peeve?
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause
Yes.
when he doesn't take out the trash.
Or like
Yeah.
for example, like I tell my husband like, babe, can you clean the bathroom? And like he takes out the trash. But didn't clean the toilet, didn't sweep, didn't mop, didn't dust.
Okay, that's
So now I'm like, what the fuck?
Like,
Yeah.
you did nothing.
You
Yeah.
took the trash out.
Yeah, because if you wanted to just take out the trash, it would have been like, take out the trash. But you said clean the bathroom.
Oh yeah, I cleaned it, babe, I took out the trash.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now I need you to do the rest. And then it becomes
Scrub,
an argument.
scrub.
And then it's like,
Yeah.
well, you didn't communicate that
Yeah.
well with me. Well, bitch, like,
Yeah, and then it's your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, well, you didn't say that. You just said clean.
Yeah.
You just
You're
told me
like,
to
well,
clean.
I just saw the trash.
Yeah, well, that's not my version of cleaning.
He goes, I didn't
Yeah,
think that.
that's what
Yeah.
no, but then it's
So
like,
now
I need
he's
you to
prob-
give me 100. And he's like, that is my 100%. Well, bitch, our 100s are not those.
Aw.
Yeah. That's true. If it's like not like that or whatever, it's like it's
Like,
not.
you're giving me 50, I need 100 right now. And he's like, that was my 100.
Yeah, I feel like mine changes, but I think now it's definitely been like, it
Yeah.
would be acts of service because I'd rather see them do what I need them to do and then physical touch.
Yeah.
Everything else, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't care for gifts.
Me neither.
I don't. What's the other one?
Quality time.
Oh, well, that too, but that would be physical touch. Because I'm like,
Or if
But
we're hanging out
like-
together, we're touching each other.
yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Something. I don't care if it's my foot.
Yeah.
I don't care
Yeah.
if it's my hand.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my foot in your mouth. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't
However you want
matter.
to touch it, but it needs to be touched.
However we
Yeah.
have to touch, like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I want that. I think that's, like, more of what I crave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
You little foot in the mouth.
Yeah.
Just a little foot in the mouth.
Why not?
Little
Little toe.
detail. Yes. Ooh. Top 3 lessons you would teach your younger self. I guess, like, maybe it's, like, something you have taught your younger self. Like, maybe, like, was there things when you were in high school that you wish you could have done differently? Or, like, maybe you looked into more? I don't know. Like, how would that... Top 3 lessons you would teach your younger self.
I don't know. That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like I've been learning as I go.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard to be like, well, I would have taught this myself 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like every day it's like a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
But if I could go back and, would you say change? Like teach something to
Like,
change?
Yeah,
Or
like something that would like help, like say it could be anything like, you know, if I could tell myself maybe that credit is important or something like when you're younger, because they don't teach that in school, right?
Yeah.
So like investments or like things that you know now that you wish you would have known when you were younger. So it could be like a lot of things like, yeah, I guess a lot of things, like certain things that maybe you
I guess not to rush into things. Like I think
Yeah.
like for me it's
That's
like
a good
growing
one.
up I always wanted to be
An
there was a
adult.
5-year I always had like a 5-year
Yes.
mark. That was my thing. Like Mary
He was
knows
a
this. Like I had like a
boom,
check
boom, boom,
mark.
boom. A
I had
checklist.
everything like there was a bucket list and like I had like a deadline. I had like 5-year marks and it's like
And he got every single one, but I think at a point
getting
he
there.
did.
Then like when I realized that it wasn't about having a plan, it almost like broke everything. I got to a point where like all my check marks were marked and I finally got to the last one. And when I got to my last check mark, I wanted to wing it. And when I started to wing that last check mark, it like took down 5 steps of my life. And it was an experience and it was a hard experience and it was an experience that I had to go through to know
To learn,
that, yeah, I guess it's a learning thing that nothing can be planned because God has its way for you, you know? So as much as I like, everything was checking and then that last one was checked, but then I kind of wanted to like be free about it. Like, let's just go with the flow and it just tore everything down. My vision that year, it was like falling little by little, but I'm grateful that I was able to come back up.
Yeah.
And like now, there's no check marks. Like now it's just like, we're gonna see
Go
what
with the
this
flow,
year,
yeah.
So I think that that's something that I would tell myself. Like
That's a good one.
I feel like I would have enjoyed my 20s a lot more if I wasn't so type A.
Yeah.
Like I wanted everything like on the dot. But then again, if I wasn't that way, I wouldn't be where I'm
You
at.
wouldn't be so disciplined either with yourself.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
That's
my
true.
business. I wouldn't, you know, my tandas.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's
Like
just
those
certain things,
things,
like,
you know,
yeah,
Yeah.
that is a good one.
So I
But
think
yeah,
that
it made you better. Like, but that's like that's a good one because I think a lot of
to
times
tell me how to
But it
balance.
can help you to
People
stop
rush,
seeing
yeah.
life that way.
so
Yeah.
scheduled and planned and
Yeah.
like whatever.
Scheduled.
Yeah. I think everyone when they're younger they just want to be like, well, I want to do this when I'm this age. I want to do.
But then they
this
get to
when I'm this age.
that they get closer and closer. They're like, well, it's
It's not
harder,
enough, and
or
then
it's I'm not
That's
doing
a good one,
anything.
too.
That's where I was. Like, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna turn 30 and I haven't accomplished anything. Bitch.
Yeah.
You have
It's
a
'cause
house,
you don't-
family, you
yeah.
have a
Yeah,
business,
literally.
like you're,
think sometimes
but
you
to me
forget
that was
where
like
you're
no,
at.
like
Yeah.
there's more check marks, like I need to do more, and then that's when like my life was just like
I think that's like everyone. I think we all have a check mark of like things we
Expectations.
want to do and expectations for ourselves. I think it's very natural for people to like want more. I would hope that everyone wants more at some point, you know, and we all work towards something. But yeah, I think I could relate to that too.
Yeah.
Even just
and then growing up with not having a lot, like very
Yeah.
grateful
So
for
you're
what I
always
did
like,
have.
want more,
I was
more,
grateful
more.
for what my parents could give me with financial support, physical support, emotional support, the love and affection that I got from them. But growing up, I knew that there was a lifestyle that I wanted to have, and like there was what I wanted to do, what I wanted to become, and so that's when I was like, okay, like check marks, like you gotta make these, like you have these deadlines, and like credit. Like I was big on like, oh my god, like I gotta build my credit, like my bills. Like I was addicted to paying my bills. That's an issue.
And
that's
saving.
That's an issue. Like
he was like big on saving too.
Like I was so like, okay, like
which is a good thing. I think it's like good to be a good
but to
saver,
me it was an addiction. Like
this is OCD. You know Virgos and them being like
it was bad because I was so like
boom
by the book.
Everything. Everything,
yeah,
like
everything.
on time, like I was
like
just,
you weren't letting yourself live freely.
He was too like.
There was no way that I could go one night and just have fun and drink because no, what do you mean I'm gonna go have fun and drink? I have a wedding to do at 5 in the morning. Like there's no way, and I didn't know how.
But because of the way you were disciplining yourself, that's why you are where you are.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm grateful for that, but then when I came across that last check mark and like everything kind of just fell apart, I'm also grateful for that because it taught me that it's not, you don't ever like just want to keep planning.
Yeah. And you don't want to ever give yourself a deadline so strict either because then you're going to beat yourself up to it.
Yeah. And then almost feel like you failed when you didn't. Like most of the things aren't
sometimes
failures.
It takes time.
It's kind of a learning curve.
Or it's not
just take like
it's
a
not,
different right.
You're not,
Sorry.
like, or you're not meant to do it alone. So someone has to come into your life and like change things a little bit, and then you experience it together.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at right now in my life. Like, it's my husband.
Like you guys are figuring out life together.
And I think that that's just so much more fun.
Yeah. And I think maybe too the issue was you were trying to do everything alone without your husband, without your husband's help.
Without his help.
Because you're just like, no, I don't need you, whatever. And it's just like,
no, I was like, I got it. And then it was like, I don't cut it, but I have to get it.
Yeah.
So it was just like, but we got it.
Yeah.
We got it, guys. Like, we got
we're
it.
all in a good place now.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. Ooh. What do people misunderstand about you the most?
Oh my gosh. People think I'm conceited. People think that I'm a show off. People think that my salon is too bougie for them, or that once I became a Mr. Couture, like, they're like,
you think you're better
above, and it's like, no, I'm not, guys.
It's more like if you think that, that's like your issue.
Yeah, and I'm like, if I portray that on social media, like, I apologize.
You don't.
Like, I get embarrassed.
I don't feel like you're like, oh, look at you, like.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like even when you had your Porsche, it's what you weren't like. Oh, look at me! I'm driving a Porsche.
No.
Like, no, I don't think anyone knew
I was
that you
almost
had that.
embarrassed to buy my car to work. Yes, but yeah, like I feel like sometimes people misread me. People would say I'm unapproachable because you can approach me. I'm funny.
It's the RBF.
Yeah.
You're
like people just
but
probably like.
They don't realize it's because you're shy and not that you think you're better. It's just like you're
No,
shy.
like I'm more scared than you are. Like I'm, if not just as much, or if not more than you are. Because I've had clients like sit in my chair and they're like, oh, I want this. Oh, I can't.
They're all shaking.
They're shaking, and I'm just like, it's okay. Take your time. I'm gonna grab a towel when I come back. Like have that picture pulled up for me, and it's just like, okay. I'm just like, oh, I'm so nervous. I'm like, girl, why are you nervous? Stop it.
I don't think people realize like how like down to earth.
I got you.
Actually.
Like
I think they assume you're like this person that's gonna like like some of the men hairdressers around here, where they're just like, ugh, what is this? Like,
no, not me. Not me.
Yeah, so maybe they assume like, oh my god, is he gonna like tell me something if he doesn't like my hair or like whatever? Like,
no, I'll probably laugh about it.
Yeah.
But we're gonna laugh about it together. Like I'm not gonna make you feel like I'm
uncomfortable.
No, like, we're gonna do it together, sis. Yeah, but I would say like
that
people would have that misunderstanding of me.
Yeah, I can.
Like my friend, like one of my good friends, Cianera, she and I have been friends for 17 years since high school.
Oh, okay.
And I one day I thought she was just so pretty, and like I never spoke to her before. And like we would sit in the front of the school, and so like all the like cheerleaders would sit over here, and then you had like just like this group of girls over here, and then there was this girl. I always looked back and like I thought she was just so pretty, and like I never knew how to like approach her.
Right.
So like one day I was just like, hey, are you gonna go to the cheerleading tryouts? And she's like, cheerleading tryouts? Like talking to me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, like I didn't know what to talk to her about, but I really wanted to talk to her. So I was like, yeah, you should try out for cheerleading. And she's like, you think so? And I'm like, yeah, why not? I'm like, you're like a sophomore, right? And I was a sophomore. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, you could try out and like you'll like your first year you'll probably be like a JV cheerleader because you've never been experienced. But like it's so much fun. Like you'll love it. Girl, she came out to tryouts and then like after she made the squad, she's like, I would have never thought that you'd ever talk to me. And I'm like,
that's funny.
Why?
You're like, oh my god, that's how I felt
I'm like,
about you.
yeah, I told her like, why would you think that? Like, I've always like struggled to talk to you, and so I thought like cheerleading would be like a breaking ice thing. Yeah. And since then, like, we became really good friends. We both got a job at Taco Bell at 16 and a half, and till this day, we're still friends. I went to her. I came out in her wedding just a couple of years ago. I did her hair and makeup. I do her hair. We would used to catch up every month. We'd do like a dinner, but now we just see each other at the salon. Yeah. But yeah, like people really think I'm unpredictable. I'm like, I'm just as scared.
No, we were talking about that even in our last podcast. Like, what is people? This kind of the same question, and it was the same. Yeah. Like people think, you know, it's always like, oh, that you look like a bitch or you're conceited. So I'm like, yeah, I could see that, I guess. That is all the questions we have for guest questions, but we did have like the spicy questions. I found like this thing on TikTok where they're like, oh, which one of you guys would be whatever. And it's funny, and then you would just kind of guess, like, not guess, like point at, I guess, who would be most likely to whatever. It's basically like most likely to.
And then we're just going to point at each other?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah. Is that how we're going to do it? I don't have the questions, but Daisy has the questions.
Yeah.
Spicy group chat.
It doesn't just have to be like a me. Like, you could like, give, like, backstory
I guess feedback
or
of, like, why you would pick them to do that. Yeah.
Okay, the first one, who's most likely to have a sugar daddy?
I'm the sugar daddy. Like, I like, I'm not my husband's sugar daddy. But I consider myself to be a sugar daddy, so I couldn't have a sugar daddy. So that cannot be
You don't know how to be a sugar baby.
I don't know how to be a sugar baby.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
That's
like, even today, like, I didn't allow her to buy me a Starbucks. Like, I'm like, no, I'm shy. Like, let me buy you a Starbucks.
They're fighting, and I'm just like, not me.
Here's my order.
Yeah, it's like, here's my order.
Here's my order.
Whoever wants to buy will buy it.
Yeah. No, so, like, he
doesn't know how to, he doesn't like people paying for him.
No.
So, like, when me and him go out to eat, we're, like, fighting for the tab. But obviously he wins, because I'm like, all right, bitch, you want to fucking pay?
Take it.
Pay. I do not care. But sometimes if it's like, dude, you've paid so much, I'll, like, threaten him with something. Like, if you don't, I think that when we went to go out to eat, I was like, if you don't let me pay for it, I'm gonna fucking tell Shane that you cheated on your meal.
That's how she got me.
I was like, I'll fucking send it right now. If you don't let me. Or I'll have to be like, no, or like I'll go pay ahead, or like something. Like, I'd have to do that in order, otherwise.
To get away with it.
He won't let me pay.
That's so
And
funny.
that's anybody. If we go out with it doesn't even have to be like a birthday, nothing. He's just always wanting to pay. I'm like, chill. You're not my man's. Like,
this is why no one hits on her. Because I'm always like, I got it.
Everyone thinks he's like my boyfriend, not like my, my gay BFF. They think he's like my boyfriend.
Her
Especially
boyfriend,
when he was
her
like
BF.
prepping, I was like, can you like dress like a little bit?
And I'm all walking like.
Yeah, like in his
No, and then
she
gave me this. She gave me this story about this guy, that he's like, oh, he's always like flirting with me, or he's always checking me out.
Save Mart.
And I'm like, this bitch
I was like, this is my little boyfriend at Save Mart.
And I'm like, this bitch is lying because he ain't even looking at us this way.
No, the whole time he did not look at us.
Shut up.
He's wearing, those skinny tank tops. You could see his chest. He's on prep, so he's like, like. I'm buff and big. Like, he was
and then my
like
walk is different.
Yeah.
Like that straight walk. Like that straight walk.
He was walking like a man. Like, I like like, he looked like my boyfriend. And
I was walking like a top.
Yeah, a top. A top. I was just like, what the heck? Like, and people would stare. They're probably just like, ooh, look at that fit couple. But no, he just, like, the way his demeanor was, he was very manly. Like, I think, because he was like, oh, I got muscles. Like, let me be a man.
My veins were popping out, Daisy.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like,
that's all I have
it
to
was
say.
close. So
Like,
I'm just like, oh, there.
You're like, why isn't he looking at me?
No, literally, I was just like, I was embarrassed. Like, I'm like, oh, fuck.
You're like, not me coming here on purpose.
I was like, not me.
No,
look.
like, on her way in, she was bragging. Like, yeah, like, he looks scared.
Yeah, Juan's probably like, bitch, you're
watch.
delusional.
Yeah,
He's like, not even looking.
Yeah, I think he tried to avoid it because he was just like, oh, let me not talk to her because man might get mad.
Yeah.
So he didn't, I felt like he didn't know what Juan, like, Juan looked like
he must not follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, like,
he didn't know I was
really, he doesn't
photographer.
follow, at all. I don't think so. So I think he thought like Juan was really my man. So I was like, okay, Juan thinks I'm delusional. I am, but not that delusional. Like
I'm like, she literally made up a story on her way.
Yes.
I'll wear body cam. So
I was like, I know when someone.
I'm like,
is,
next time I'll wear floral.
Yeah, exactly. We're pink next time, bitch.
Yeah.
Like he had green. He had the hunter green. He was looking like a man.
Had a hat
he had
on.
sweats. Yes, he got his full beard. He had his muscles. He was all tan, and I was like, you ruined it for me. So I don't think we answered the question. So I guess who's most likely to be a sugar baby? Me, because I don't care that people think my sugar. Or maybe Daisy too. Well, no, because Daisy's pretty independent too. She's like,
I don't like.
yeah, she's like,
You're like, no, I got us.
Yeah, well, I consider myself the sugar daddy
Yeah,
between me
true.
and Eddie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
Gladly,
me too.
gladly,
Me
yeah,
too.
gladly.
I like,
we
will-
both want it,
if
you know?
people want to like pay for me, I'm not gonna be like, oh
Yeah.
my God,
You're not gonna be
no.
shy.
Like, I'll be like, oh no, I'll pay. And then once you're like, no, I'll pay. Okay. You know, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
Cool.
you're like,
Add
if you
2 more
insist.
to that order.
If
If you insist, like today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that is her top line.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you insist.
Okay. Why am I
Okay.
holding this? Like, I got the question.
Okay. Who's most likely to get lost in their own neighborhood?
Can I tell you guys a funny story? The other day I went to go pay rent for the shop. And like, I know the way. I've been in my business for 8 years.
Just 8 years.
8 years.
Who's counting?
And it's not my neighborhood, but it is the neighborhood it's a route that I take every month to go pay the rent for the building. And I kid you not, I probably went through 5 different blocks. U-turns. I was cussing myself out. Like, how do I not know how to get there? Literally.
Like, were you on edibles?
No.
Huh.
Surprisingly, no. I was on coffee though.
On caffeine.
No. And I left the bank and I was even going to take the street. And I was like, no, it's not the street, it's the next street. So I'm like, fuck, it's the next street. So then I'm like, that's not it. So then I'm like, U-turning. I'm like, geez.
Everyone around
And then I'm like,
gonna shoot us up or something.
Like, what is going on with
Yeah.
this guy in his black
so then I'm
car?
like,
It's like
L,
black
M,
ass
N.
Santa.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm on O, L, M, N, O. So I got to go 3 streets down. Okay, I'm on L. There it is.
So, okay, so most likely to get lost? Juan.
Juan, yeah, for sure.
Because I'm like, I don't think I was like, no, not with GPS. I'll never get lost.
For real. I always have my GPS on.
Yeah.
No,
I need to know my
regardless,
time of arrival.
I think that's
need
what
to
it is.
know.
I think that's why I do that, just
Yeah.
to know my time of arrival.
Yeah.
I've been there a million times, but I think I just like to know, like,
Yeah.
my, you know.
I just need
ETA.
reassurance that I do got to make that left at the 3rd stop sign.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'll turn it off.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'll keep mine on.
Okay, the next one, who's most likely to have 3 boyfriends at the same time?
I don't know. I don't know if I could handle. I could handle one texting back and forth, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like I could. Well,
Yeah.
obviously. No, I'm just kidding. Everyone serves a purpose. Because you can't find one perfect guy, so you have to have 3 because they all do something for you.
Something different.
Wise words for Mary.
Yeah. Why have
Her different
one,
languages.
Why have one
Yeah.
when you can have one
She
for
needs
each-
one to speak each language.
Yes, I need one of words of
So
affirmation.
5,
I need
not
one
3.
for acts of service, and then I need one for physical touch. Why have one when you can have 3? I'm just kidding.
Okay, who's most likely to get into Ted Bundy's car?
Do you know who Ted Bundy
No.
is? You don't know
So-
who
Like,
Ted Bundy is?
He's,
So not me.
he's a serial killer, but all the girls wanted to be with him. and,
Yeah,
like,
'cause
have
he's
sex with him
really
'cause he's-
charming.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like this charming guy, like
You would have never thought.
Because
You know who played him?
A Zac
Zac
Efron.
Efron.
Okay, now if it was Zac Efron, I'd be getting in his car.
Yeah,
The Zac Efron one barely came out like a year or 2 ago, maybe?
yeah, you'll have to. But he's
Yeah.
a serial killer, and he was known for like his charm. So like girls
Yeah.
would just like fall for him.
He
He's
would
so
meet them
charming.
like at a bar, like at a bar, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so he was like.
No, again, I'm shy. I wouldn't be able to approach him. Unless he
But
approached
no,
me.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. He would approach you, and you'd be
Oh.
like, "Oh yes, take me, daddy." Yeah. Like I'll go.
Yes.
I'll go in your little trailer
Mhm.
or whatever he was in.
Okay.
But I was like, oh, he's a Sagittarius. I would have definitely fell for it. I'm like, not that I know his sign or anything. I know Ted Bundy is a Sagittarius, and you know,
I'm
moon signs.
so dead.
I'm like, oh, I would have been like, boop, me too. Oh, me and
The 2 of
Juan?
us. The 2 of us.
Yay! Like, take me with
Pick
you.
me, pick me.
Yeah.
Yeah, pick me. For real. Daisy's too smart for it.
She,
She'd be like,
yeah.
ew.
She
And
would
you
know,
know
like,
what? I was gonna say that if I had the mindset that I do now, I'd be like, he's too cute. He'd probably kill me.
Really?
Yeah.
Because everyone's like,
no, you know why
but
though? I
probably
watch
just-
a lot
I
of
was gonna
crime
say
stuff.
that.
My
That's
YouTube
why.
feed, all crime, all people killing, and I feel like if I were to ever die or like something would happen to me, people would probably think that I'm like,
That you made it up.
no, that I would be a killer or something because of all my history on everything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like
they're like,
my
how do you
TikTok
know?
is all like kidnapping, crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Most likely to pass for a homeless person, me for sure. Literally me. Like everyone
You're
can
like,
vouch for
I
this.
volunteer as tribute.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am the homeless person.
Yeah.
No, me for sure. Like I come and Mary's like, oh, I look so like.
You're like, I'm casual. I'm like, oh, I'm casual. But
I'm
like this.
You're like, yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm casual.
I'm like, bitch.
She wasn't. She's in sweats.
Yeah.
She ain't got no makeup. She got glasses. She's like, bitch.
Yeah, then I
You
wouldn't
say
fall
casual.
as I wouldn't fall as
No,
homeless.
I don't think I
No.
could ever see.
No,
you
my
passing
friend
out.
would be like, Juan, this is a casual dinner, so do not come in your prom outfit. Please leave your prom outfit at home. It's a casual lunch.
So
Yeah.
good.
And I'm like, oh, fuck, I have to go back upstairs and change.
Yeah.
No, like if I have to, if the occasion, obviously, like I'm going to brunch, whatever, I'll dress for it, you know. But like if I don't have to be anywhere, like
Yeah.
if I'm coming to my lash appointment, if I'm like running errands,
I'm
like,
going for the homeless look.
I'm waking up and going
Rolling.
straight
Getting
there. Yeah. Even if I'm working.
Yeah. You're like, that's how I work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who has the least body count?
You.
Probably me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She was one and done. She's
Yeah.
like, I found my man.
Yeah.
Yes.
My soulmate.
Same dick. Same dick. What is it called? Same dick forever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who is most likely to leave the girls for a boy?
One.
Yeah, me. I never even got to get a girl.
No, I meant like
Like
Your
who would be
girl-
the first one to leave like your friends for a
your
boy?
friends.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely one.
That's
He'll always
Still
choose
me.
he'll always choose his partner over his friends.
I'm sorry, guys.
Like, you know, not that we've experienced that.
Never.
at all.
She's not
I'm like,
traumatized.
I'm not traumatized.
She's gonna cry out.
I'm like, now I gotta go make new friends because he can't go out with me anymore, and I gotta go out with other people because he can't come. But no, usually-
now my husband comes with us.
Yeah, I was like,
Now my
now
husband
There's
comes.
one more in the game.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, now if I want to go out, like it's him and husband.
Yeah.
Which Albert
Make
is
room
actually.
for two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Albert's really fun. So I'm always like, hey, do you guys want to go here? So it's
Yeah.
never like, hey, do you want to go
Like for your
lunch?
birthday dinner, you're like, "Where's Albert?" I'm like, "It's just girls' night." You're like, "Albert's one of us." And
Yeah,
I'm like,
I'm like, why'd you bring him?
Yeah.
Nice.
I will say Eddie is a girl's guy too.
hmm Like there's just certain guys that you could bring around the girls. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the fuck? Why?
"Where's Albert?"
Where the fuck is Albert?
Yeah.
Like, how's he not drinking with us?
Yeah.
Now,
Like,
now you
it's
gotta go take him food and take,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
do all that. Yeah.
Okay, who's the most toxic?
Probably. I feel like you are.
I can be.
I mean, with your story
I mean,
that you
I feel
just
like I
told us.
can be too.
And
Really?
like
I'm like,
being a
I'm
Virgo,
just-
like Virgo
yeah.
is a little toxic.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, you know what's funny? I seen a thing on TikTok and it was just like they rated all the earth signs and who they liked the least. Virgo was literally everyone's top pick for the least that they like.
Well, I can see I was most nominated.
Exactly. I'm just like, yeah. But I'm like, I wonder why. And they said it was Virgo men. They were rating Virgo men.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny. I was just like, damn, what's wrong with Virgo men? But I just like maybe from your experience, I don't know. I don't see you being toxic.
I feel like my control,
your controlling habits.
yeah, could
Yeah.
come off toxic, which I would say, yeah, but.
Like if you just listen to me, like everything would be okay.
Yeah.
There would be no toxicness.
But I
Yeah.
think that's just how it is with Taurus women. We're just very controlling.
Are you Taurus too?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm May
Are we
20th.
all-
Earth.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
We're all-
We're earth signs. That's probably why we vibe.
yes,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
vibing.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like,
But
Eddie-
you're very close to, because even Mariela and April, she's a Taurus. April's a Taurus. Mariela's a Capricorn. So like you're surrounded by a lot of Earth.
what's Capricorn? Isn't that like.
December, January.
Oh, that's Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
So that's
I
why it
married a
works.
Virgo,
Yeah.
and I'm a Virgo.
Yikes. So that's why they're
That's
both like
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning. So I felt like,
But I'm an early Virgo. He's a late Virgo.
yeah. So maybe that's why it was like you guys were bump heads.
Yeah.
I think Taurus just have control issues, and
Yeah.
then you guys are like toxic. We're
And
just like
control.
just our way or the highway, and then usually our partner listens
Yeah.
because we're too like.
But when it's both highways that we gotta take, it's like who's gonna give in on that highway?
Yeah.
For you guys,
Mhm.
yeah, no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you guys are.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
only
we
one
gotta-
highway.
it's a lot. I'm
Yeah.
just like it's a lot. Like even like how you were talking about earlier about your little fight. Like I'm like
Yeah.
And it was something so silly.
Stupid.
You're like, it's going on
but
for
you
a
guys,
month.
But you
Yeah,
guys
like-
are gonna take it like further.
You're like, the
Yeah.
pillow wall keeps getting bigger.
No, yeah, like
It's
She
getting
went out
higher.
and bought more pillows.
Yeah,
the couch pillows are on there.
there's a couch
It's like,
pillow.
it
Yeah.
goes higher
Yes.
and higher
Yes.
and higher. And now he's like, fuck this, I'm sleeping on the couch. I don't even want to be behind the other wall.
I'm
Yeah.
so dead.
And I'm
Like,
like,
he put up
oh,
drywall.
Yeah. I was like, wow, okay.
Like, oh, that's how we're
Well,
doing
he's
it.
not
It's
giving
like,
in. Now they're mine.
you guys are like, oh, if you go low, I'm go
Yeah,
lower.
yeah.
Like, you guys keep playing that game until someone's
Mhm.
like,
That is
all right,
so
are
funny.
we done? After a month. Yeah.
Okay, the next one. Who's most likely to get back with their ex and not tell the group?
Me.
One.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
who's most likely to ask for advice and not listen?
Me.
One. That is him all the way. I'm like,
Literally.
So
you want
good.
to talk about asshole? This guy will. I remember there's a time he called me and I'm like in bed. It's like 10. Fuck it, it's late. So I'm like, what the fuck? Why is he calling me?
Yeah.
Crying on the phone. Mary, don't ever. And he's just sobbing about what happened, you know, like whatever argument they had. And I'm just like, you know what? And me just pouring my whole heart out, like, what the heck? You need to do this, you need to do that, fuck that, da-da-da-da. You're right. Yeah, don't ever let me go back. And then the next day I'm just like, hey, how's it going? How you doing? They're just at lunch and he's all tagging his boo. Like, what? His husband. Well, just Albert knows. We've been through a lot. So
I'm
like
so
this guy
dead.
will ask for advice and you could pour your heart out and tell him like everything he needs to hear about how he
just needs
deserves so
reassurance
much
for a couple of
more.
seconds.
Yeah, he just like gotta feed his ego a little
Yeah.
bit, you know, just tell him like you're great, you deserve more. But again, you just learn like you love who you love. Like that's what it is. It was just like I think every couple goes through like a
Yeah.
you guys, I
Situation.
feel like you guys kind of moved fast, but maybe like we're getting to know each other too, but also like loved each other so much that you just like sometimes you don't know what to do with it. Like, but I just oh my god, I was like going through it with them, and I was
Yeah.
like,
I'm like,
okay.
we made it, Mary. We
yeah,
made it.
literally, you know, just a couple years later. But I just remember because I was with them from beginning to end, so I was just like, oh my god. I was like, is this what it is to fight for your relationship? Why is it so fucking hard? And now it's like obviously like great. Never had anything against Albert, obviously.
Never
It was
about
just
him.
like-
It was never
Yeah,
about
it
him.
was never
It was
about
about
him,
the
like-
choices that I was making.
Yeah, so it was
to-
like both, like, you know, they were learning each other, so I think that's what it was too. So I obviously only heard one side, so I'm obviously going to defend my friend. Even
Yeah.
if he was wrong, I'd be like, bitch, you're right. You deserve that. You know, I'm always going to defend my friend. So I think that's what it is too, but I was also supportive too. Like, I guess we're back with him. I don't give a fuck. Like, you got to go home with him.
He is kind of funny. Yeah.
I was like, well, Albert is kind of funny. Like, Albert's a great friend, so I always said that, like, oh, he's a cool guy. Like, I actually love hanging out with Albert. He's so much fun. But then I'm like, well, maybe you guys just aren't, like, good together. I don't know. Like, why can't you guys figure it out?
Yeah. So
So-
I'm that person.
Yeah. I was just like, but he won't tell us you're back together, but we'd know.
Aw.
Because I'm like, he's
Like,
clearly on that
if I
list.
haven't-
you know, he's not needy, right? He's not texting me. He's not asking.
He's not on the group text right now.
Yeah, I was like, when he, like, disappears for a little bit, I'm like, oh, okay, they're, like, probably working it out.
Yeah.
I was always just like, well, I mean, it didn't matter whether he took it back or not. Like, I was just going to be supportive regardless.
Or even like with the
But
doctor situation.
I stopped giving him advice.
Definitely.
I was just like, bitch, don't
like-
ask me for nothing because you're just going to get back with him. I was like, my throat hurts every time I give you advice. It's a lot because
so
I'm
good.
pouring my heart out and being like, you know, my fucking therapy talks and shit. And I just like, I'm like great at giving advice. Advice I would never take, but
You
I
are
give-
really good at giving
yeah,
advice.
I'm great, but like it's nothing I would ever do too because
Yeah.
like a lot of times we go by emotions and like how is it like we're all gonna follow whatever we feel, right?
Yeah.
But logically, I know what the right thing to do is.
Yeah.
Does that mean I'm gonna follow? Or
Yeah, you're not gonna act on it.
No, but like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
would be that. I know everyone else says that you give great advice.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
Yes, I do.
Because I think deeper into
Yeah.
things.
That's
you know?
funny.
But yeah, carry on.
Okay, who's most likely to cancel plans last minute?
I don't know. I feel like we're all pretty good with like.
I think maybe
If
because our
we
jobs
commit-
too, we have to be very punctual.
It's like it's scheduled.
Yeah, I think
like-
if we commit to something,
we
like
technically run on a schedule.
yeah. So I'm just
Even
like,
our afterlife.
I don't know. I feel like that would be a hard one because I think if we all decided to like plan something, like we're gonna. obviously in case there's like an emergency,
Mm-hmm.
like your emergency, like you had an outfit. Like
No, that was
I had my teeth too.
oh
Remember?
yeah. So like unless there's an emergency, it's like rare that we would just cancel plans just cause. Yeah, I like if I schedule something that's like
That's it.
what I'm
If
doing.
I cancel something,
It'd have to be a good excuse.
oh yeah,
And, you know.
yeah, or like I'm just lazy or
Yeah.
like just don't
You're
want
like,
to do anything.
I'm sick.
You know, yeah.
I'm diarrhea.
I have allergies.
Yeah.
That was like one of her. That's I'm like, ugh.
Like, hopefully they're not watching this.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you did having.
No, I did.
I was
Like, God was
she
like, you know what?
jinxed herself.
Yeah.
Oh, you want
Let me
you
give
want to
you
tell them?
allergies
Yeah.
today.
Like, let me.
I'm like, either you were on my bad side or my good side, because
Yeah.
he either was like, you know what, let me help you out, or like, girl, like,
Mm,
don't
Be careful
cry.
what you wish for.
Karma.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is the biggest freak?
I feel like all of us.
Do you think?
Because I've heard like all our stories, and I feel like we're the same
Yeah.
Kind
in our
of.
different ways.
in our yeah. Like, I feel like you are, no? Or it's because you're shy now.
I'm shy.
He's married now, so he like that all goes away when you're married, I guess.
No, it doesn't.
I know. I'm just kidding. But I feel like I've heard
All the married couples out there, like,
We're freaky too.
no, all the married couples out there, they're like
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah. No, actually, it's so funny. I was talking to one of my clients today, and she's just like, a lot of the older couples, because they're almost like bored. They're all kind of like swingers now, or like they exchange, or sometimes they share.
Yeah.
They swap.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, what, people do that? But it's always a lot of older couples. I wonder if it's like
And it's also because probably back then it was just like something that you just forbidden, like you just don't do. And now with everything becoming so like
everyone's more
like,
open. Yeah.
They're now
she
opening up.
literally had an older couple ask her husband, like her and her husband, like if they would swap, if they do that. That's swinger, right? Like swinger. Yeah. I guess it's like, yeah, but then it's like you hear it, so, especially in our area, I feel like it happens a lot.
When we were in Cancun, I don't know if you remember that married couple.
Well, there's a whole
Yes.
state. There's a whole state too. What is it called? Utah.
Oh, the Utah
Really?
scandal.
That's the that's a swinger state.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, you guys have never been on like TikTok?
I mean, I've seen
You
those
know what's
Mormon
so
couples
crazy?
that were on
Yeah,
TikTok.
but that's like all of Utah.
I didn't know it was all of Utah.
Yeah, because I even have clients that are from Utah.
Oh.
Who
And
like
they said,
swing it back over here? They're like, let me
No, they told me it's true though.
going back together. Yeah.
And there's literally like states where like as soon as you cross that line, it's like obviously they're not out there. Like you don't know it openly, but like living there, you know that.
Oh, that's crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah.
But like I hear that a lot. Again, like it's like when people, go through whatever.
Wow.
Yeah. I found out about someone that did that, but yeah, she lives here. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure she did it too, but I found out about her brother doing it, and they were from Hawaii.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. I would want to ask someone like why, like what
Gets them to that point where they want to do
Yes.
that. They basically told her like a lot of sometimes too, like men when they get older, like they don't work the same way they used to. So as men get older, they're not as, how would you say it, like
you don't get
as like harder. Like they're not. Yeah, like it
Direction.
softens. Yeah. So then it's different. So then that's when they start having to take like Viagra or whatever it is
yeah.
to help. So I had one where she's just like, he did say like if that ever comes to a point where like it doesn't, like he would be okay with her stepping out and getting what she needs so that or
okay.
because they've tried everything and they just want to have other partners and try something new, because if say you've been with somebody for so long and it's the same person you've had, like maybe they just have interest in like, what it's like to find, do other people.
Or maybe just from like curiosity.
Yeah.
Or
But
like,
there's
just
sometimes
having
like
that conversation.
yeah, sometimes they
and
like
then,
to watch.
You
Yeah.
may feel a certain way, and that person feels a certain way, but you guys never communicated, and then one day you just kind of finally say it, and you're like, wow, like I didn't know you felt that way. Let's do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like just with that like show that I was telling you guys that we watched last night.
Oh yeah.
And how like I was like, oh, there was a threesome, like let's watch it.
Yeah.
So like we watched it, right? And like how that threesome started was the fiance wanted to surprise the fiance with a threesome. So, like, when my husband and I went to bed, I was like, babe, do you want me to surprise you? And he's like, no, I will punch the motherfucker. And I was like, really? You don't want me to surprise you? And he's like, no, I will kill him. And I'm like, okay. So we left it at that.
Yeah.
And then I turn around, and then he's holding me. He's like, do you want me to surprise you? And I'm like, no. I was just kidding. Like, that was a joke. And he's like, are you sure? Because if you want me to surprise you. And I'm like, no. Like, no, that's not an option. Like, I'm married to you.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe sometimes, like, you just, like,
people are getting,
throw it out there and then it's just like, oh, wow, I
Yeah.
didn't know you felt that way. I obviously just said it because we watched that show.
Yeah.
But I was like, wait.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that, but I would like to ask them too. Like, why do you guys?
Like, I would
do
have a
that?
lot of questions.
Yeah,
just to be
like
curious,
how is it like? But I know like people.
But then those questions could be taken wrong, and they could be like, "Are you asking because you want to try it?"
Huh?
So then, like, they start to like
Mm-hmm.
throw hints at you, and you're like,
They start
wait.
recruiting you.
Oh,
Next
So,
thing
you
you
should
know,
Plus,
you're
our
invited to.
auditions are next week.
Yes, yeah.
They're just like, if you want to come over for drinks and stuff,
Yeah.
let's hang out.
Yeah.
We can talk about it more next week over a drink.
The attire is this.
Yeah, for reals. It's a pool party.
That's funny.
Jacuzzi party.
For real.
Yeah.
Okay, who's most likely to kill someone?
You, because you offered to kill your.
Yes, I
The
jokingly
openly-
offered.
Yeah.
No, I would. I don't know that I would kill somebody.
Well, out of all of us, and you know what they said, because you know I'm all about astrology. So there was a poll on all the serial killers, like the serial
The
killers
Virgo's
and
the
their
top one
sign,
too?
and Virgo was the fucking top bitch.
Oh
Like,
my god, you're the top
I
of
feel
everything.
like
I'm on top.
I don't even think Taurus was really on the list like that. I'm like, I don't think we give. Like, we don't
Killer
act,
vibes.
like, no, I don't think
No.
we act on, like, certain things. I think we're just, maybe we just, like, are
Verbal.
able to let go easier. And
We
just
don't
be
let
like,
go.
Fuck it. Like, yeah, like, Virgos will hold on. And then, like, also, you're, like, an emotional,
You're like able to
you act,
literally
like,
take it
in
to
the
the grave.
moment. Like, yeah. So it's like, maybe you'd be like, fuck, what did I do after the fact? But
Yeah,
it's like,
react after.
Then I call my Taurus friends to come help me.
yeah.
And for advice.
I'm like, where are we going?
Huh.
I can drive.
Yes.
Can we get food on the way too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That was it.
So, one. Oh, okay.
Those are all the questions.
Yeah, those are good ones.
That was good. Spicy questions are
Yeah,
fun.
I love the spicy ones.
And you know what I
But
didn't
usually
get? I
they
didn't
do
get
it where they
any-
pour like the drinks, like the.
Oh,
They do
yeah,
like
if you want
that
to sip or
normal-
tell. If you want to sip or tell.
Yeah. Well, that is all for our spicy questions. Now, did you guys want to talk about anything else? Did you have some last words?
No, but I just want to thank you guys for having me today.
Thank you for
being our
coming.
first
As soon as,
Yes.
yes, I was so excited.
We
I'm
wouldn't
like,
have had it any other way. Everyone kept asking me too, like, "Oh, are you gonna bring Juan on there?" I'm like, "Yeah, eventually." Just,
Yeah.
Like, it's like, are you guys telling me you're bored with us?
Huh.
I'm like, I just was
Like-
not gonna be on here with my BBL pillow, girl.
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, that
Bye.
too. I think we wanted to kind of wait until you
I was
like.
able to like sit,
Yes.
cute,
True.
find
'cause
the
you feel
right green pants that I've been dying to find.
Like, true. Yeah. I wish you would have wore like
Something
some,
more fitted.
booty shorts.
I know. I had them in the car too.
Oh.
But I'm shy. Remember, I'm shy.
Huh.
And then my faja would have shown. It would have just
Or
been
you
a
would
mess.
have not worn your faja.
I
Or you
done
could have
without
just
my
been like
faja.
in your booty shorts and been like, I just want to show you guys.
Yeah,
what
and
I
the
look
little
like.
crop top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what we could have done. Alrighty, well, that is all for today, guys. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.